Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Newo Wellness Podcast. I'm your host, Haley Rose, and this is a space to grow and nourish all aspects of self. I hope everyone's doing good. I hope everyone had an amazing Father's Day today. I hope you spread some love to all the father figures in your life. I hope we're able to do something nice on this beautiful day, this beautiful Sunday, or at least get ready for your special week. Today actually, I just totally laid in bed all day. I was back in the homelands and I went back home and I just showered and I laid in bed, and it was just nice to be able to plan ahead for this week. It's going to be a really busy week for me, so it was kind of nice to just rest and lay down and take that break for myself to kind of plan ahead and set some goals for this week. And just basically start working again and getting ready. So I'm very excited today to bring on our special guest. He's a phenomenal young man. He's super Indigenous, super deadly, and he's actually a Newo Wellness ambassador. And so he's been a part of the team for quite a while now, and he's amazing. He's also a father of two young boys, and he was a young father, so it's also really important that maybe we bring up that conversation today and share some advice, and also have a nice conversation about motivation and give some inspiration to some Indigenous fellows, to some Indigenous family for the community, and be able to have a good conversation. So with that, I'd like to welcome with you guys, Darrell Brertton Jr. I should have
Thank you.
clapping noises like this.
Yeah, real pro like Nathan, and just click the button, then it just makes a sound.
Yeah, hey, we should do that. Just kidding. How
Even
you doing?
that one where he clicks that one button, and then it's real deadly or something like Conway.
I know, we're just.
I'm doing fantastic. I'm doing fantastic. You mentioned that you went back to the homelands and kind of stayed in bed all day. So for myself, what I did today is I woke up pretty early at about 9 a.m. and then I got ready, and then I went to this event. They had a fundraiser today, and I was the MC, and I booked myself almost a month ago. And today when I woke up, I wasn't feeling it. I didn't feel like I didn't feel like emceeing. I just wanted to chill. I wanted to spend time with my family. I wanted to have brunch or something with my loved ones, but you gotta do what you gotta do, and put on my shirt, put on my dress shoes, put on my earrings, put on my beaded medallion, and went out the door and gave them a really good show. And I thought of it, even though it didn't turn out the way I wanted it to turn out, it could have been better. I thought of it as a good experience, a good learning experience, something more hours to becoming an expert in that area with emceeing and public speaking.
So when you went home straight to the family, all tired or what?
Honestly, I didn't even get to grab my baby. So after this podcast is over, I'm gonna grab my babies after this podcast is over.
Aww. I kind of wanted to kind of dive right into it, because
let's do it.
This is a really important conversation, something that I have no idea what it's like. I don't know what it's like to be a parent or to be a father. But I know that you had, your young boys. When you were under 20, right? When you had your first one? Or were you 20?
Yeah, I was in grade 11 going into grade 12 when I found out. And I was in grade 12 first semester when he was born.
So
I was 18. I just turned 18 3 days. Yeah.
What was that like for you? How did you do it? How did you make it happen? Because here's the thing, you're amazing. You're a performer. You've done crazy shows. You're a great speaker. You're a business owner. You have your wife to be here. You have your family. How did you balance that? But then also at such a young age, when you just became so successful with it, even having two young boys when you were young. And so I kind of want to know like what you did. Like how did you do it?
Okay, so I hear two questions in what you just said. So the first question
Yeah.
was, how was it? How was it slash is it being a young father? And then the second one is like, how do I manage my time? How do I have that balance in my life with all areas, like you mentioned about like performing, my wife to be, I'm a father, I'm also a business owner and building this app company and everything like that. So how do I do it all? So first question, I was scared. I was freaking scared. I was
I
scared.
bet.
I was so scared. I was nervous, and I was like, oh my gosh, like what did I get myself into? Am I going to be able to provide? Am I going to be able to do it and everything like that? And everything literally happens for a reason. Whether it's good or bad, it shapes us into the individual that we're destined to be. So I'm very thankful and grateful that I'm a young father. I'm very thankful and grateful that we didn't get an abortion and that we didn't pull the plug. And my son, my oldest son, his name is Micaiah. He's 5. He's turning 6 in December at the end of the year. So I literally just turned 18, and then 3 days later he was born. And then did my diplomas in high school, and then thank God that I didn't have much spares in high school. My mom always like kept me busy, always made sure I had a class. So I already had like all my credits like by the end of the first semester. So after diplomas was over, I tried to go back to school, but it was just different like with my son. And I was living on my own. I moved out on my own with my son and his mother at the time. And it was just different going to high school with my high school friends. Like they're complaining about, oh, my mom didn't wake me up this morning. It's like, I don't even live with my mom, bro. Like it's just different. So
Yeah.
I ended up just like leaving school and then started working right away. I was even working while I was in high school, and I got my first construction job right away because that's what I was taught. Because that's what my stepfather taught me. He taught me because he's a Red Seal journeyman carpenter, so he's been in
Okay.
construction for his whole life basically. So since that's all he knows, that's what he was teaching me, and like he helped me get my tickets, helped me get my work boots and hard hat and everything like that, and help me find a job. And then from there, like I mentioned about how everything happens for a reason, my first construction job, they taught me that like I'm so young and that I have like the world in my hands. And that's like a whole nother story. So that first question, the answer is I was scared. I was nervous. I didn't know what to do. And in all honesty, I can kind of help you understand kind of like this. So you get your driver's license or your learners,
Yeah.
right? And you drive for the first time. What are you doing? You're gripping that steering wheel, right? You might even be sweating, you're scared, you're nervous, right? Because you never really drove, or maybe you're going from the res to driving in Saskatoon now, or driving in Regina now, or maybe you're driving in Edmonton now. So it's a little bit more scarier. There's more traffic, there's more cars, there's lights and everything like that. So you're scared, you're nervous, but the more and more you drive, the more comfortable you are because you've done it before, and it just becomes easier, you know? And then before you know it, you're texting and driving, you're driving with your knee, you're driving with one hand, you're just chilling behind the wheel driving,
So
right?
when
So
you were
that's the
like
same thing.
before like you even had your boy and everything was like going through your mind like this, like I'm freaked out, I'm young, I still gotta graduate, um, like telling yourself, how am I gonna do this? How did you overcome those thoughts? Because really, like when I have thoughts like that, it's anxiety. It's anxiety when I'm like all these different questions are popping up in my head. So how was it all of a sudden it's gonna be okay? What did you have to tell yourself that it was gonna be okay, that I'm gonna be a great father for my sons?
That's a good question. So for me, I didn't have all the answers. I didn't have all the answers, but I'm thankful and grateful I had support like my mother, and
Mm-hmm.
also my child's mother, like her family as well. So the support definitely helped. But then also too, back in like junior high, that's when I was already setting big goals for myself, because that's when they're kind of
Yeah.
asking you, what university you're going to apply to, which college you're going to apply to, what are you going to study, what faculty you're going to get into. This is the courses that you need. This is the marks that you need, the requirements and everything like that. So for me, I never really wanted to go to university or anything like that, but I was just like, you know what? Like, just to shut up the teachers, I'm going to figure out my answer to that. I'm going to figure out my answer to that question. So highest paying job with the least amount of university time. And then there was like all these different jobs that came up, surgeons, doctors, everything like that. And then I was like, like a dentist, that sounds pretty doable. Only go to school for like maybe like 6 years around there, or maybe like yeah, like a dentist. So that's what my goal was initially, like back in junior high and like high school. So when I found out I was going to become a young father, that kind of went all out the door. And it's like, okay, like I can't go to university, because the way that my stepfather was making it sound like my life's over, say bye-bye to university, say bye-bye to all your dreams, all your goals. Like, your child is your number one priority, your family is your number one priority. And don't get me wrong, it is. That's why I do what I do. That's why I build the business that I do. That's why I generate the streams of income that I do. It's for my family. But that's all he was teaching me, was construction, and your life's over and you're going to be a tradesman now, or whatever. But
that's not what you wanted to do, hey?
No. Yeah. So your second question about the balance. So in all honesty, how like my hack is I incorporate all areas. So like, for example, today I was emceeing, but my fiance was also, she had a vendor table at that event, and I was there with her. I got to see her while kind of like taking breaks while people are performing on stage, and go sit with her, had lunch with her, and had dinner with her during her break and stuff like that. So I kind of like tie it in. And then when I have my children, so just some information for everybody that doesn't know me. I have 2 baby boys with their mothers from Alexis and Dakota Sioux Nation, but I'm no longer with the mother. So I'm very lucky and blessed, because me and their mother have a really good relationship, and we are like really, really good co-parents. And literally, I feel like that she sees the benefit, like also having 1 week on, 1 week off. And I love having 1 week on, 1 week off. And sometimes it's 2 weeks, like if I'm flying to Miami or flying to Los Angeles or flying somewhere and I'm gone for a longer amount of time, she'll keep them for 2 weeks. But then when I get back, then I'll keep them for 2 weeks. So then she has 2 weeks off too. So it's like balance like that. So it's nice, because it's as if I'm not a parent, because they're with their mother, and I can go hard. I can travel to Regina and do a meeting in Regina. I can travel to Saskatoon and do a meeting in Saskatoon. Hit up Boyd Minister and do a meeting with maybe Onion Lake or maybe a reserve out there, and then I can finally come back to Edmonton. Maybe I'm on the road for like 6 days straight, but then I don't have my children, so it's like really easy. But then when I do have my children and those meetings are booked, I still do it. So that's what I mean about tying it all together. So like I'll either do it myself. It's really hard on my own, but I normally have my brother that helps me out. So I asked my brother to like just help me like while I'm doing my presentation with Chief and Council, and then he can go to like the park with them or take them to go get ice cream or something like that while I'm busy for the hour. So that's how I do it. All these different areas, and I just like tie it all together. So like, how can I still spend time with the people that I love, with the people that matter the most, while I'm still doing what I need to do, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
Did
And
that
I
kind of
think,
answer?
yeah, like I think that because you have that arrangement where you're week on, week off, I think that allows you, to focus on your work, which is good, right? Because you don't have the kids there to be around you when you can focus on work and be with your fiance. And I know like there's a lot of fathers who might not even have that. So like
Oh yeah.
the fact that you can see that you're very thankful that you're able to do that, because it's hard, man. It's hard to find the balance. And I can't imagine if I just had 2 little minions by my side like 24/7. I feel like I'd be a single stay-at-home mother if that was if I was in that situation. And for you to be able to still work and like, you know, go do your thing and you know, bring in money for your family, to provide for your family, like that's a strict balance. But I know that how much time that you would have to like manage and really like think about, okay, like I have to be with my family and I have to, you know, obviously still go to work and stuff like that. Like there's a lot of motivation that has to be told to yourself. You got to like remind yourself that I'm doing this, you know, for my family, and what you do. And so basically, like even for myself, when I like start burning out because I'm doing so much, right? I got to do this and I got to do this. And you know, today I just like totally could chill out, and I was like in love with it. I just loved it. I loved that I could lay in bed all day and you know, I didn't have to worry about doing all these things because I told myself like
Must be nice. Just kidding.
I need to listen to what my body's trying to tell me, and so that I can, you know, can continue to do work or do my job or stuff like that. So
Mm-hmm.
it's just, I know everyone's different and everyone has their own way of balancing everything in their life. But what motivates you to work harder? Like what keeps you driven to like keep on working, you know, towards your job? And because you're just like a real big people person, man. Like I would burn out. Like I
So
burn out when I shake too many hands. I'm like, too many energies. No.
don't get me wrong, I'm human too, just like yourself, and I burn out as well. Like especially after like a conference and I'm just networking with everybody, talking to everybody, handing business cards, taking photos, or when I'm performing and people are just, especially when there's non-Indigenous people there and they're just asking question after question after question, I give them the best value, the most value that I possibly can, and answer that question like over, above, and beyond. And at the end of the day, I'm just exhausted because it's not that I'm like general labor lifting stuff and breaking my back, but I'm like exhausted energy wise, spiritually, emotionally, mentally, you know what I mean? So for me, I strongly believe, and we'll get into it because part of the reason why I'm brought on here is to talk about mindset. And for me, it's my why. So you have to have a why, and your why can be anything, and it has to like be pretty emotional and hit close to home, and almost kind of like make you like cry in a way. Like, why do you do what you do? Why do you do this podcast? Why are you with Newo Wellness? Why are you in university right now? Why are you the FSIN youth rep? Why do you do it? So you have to like go back to your why. So for me, I did a 7 levels deep exercise back in 2019 when I went to a real estate workshop. So I paid over $2,000 for this 3-day real estate workshop, and I was learning from multi-millionaire real estate investors that have been doing it for the past 6 years and that are financially free. And the one guy that was hosting it, he used to be a police officer in Los Angeles, LAPD, and and then he literally changed his life, and like he went to a similar conference and or that workshop, and then learned about everything. And he just started slowly chipping away at it every single day. So at his workshop, we did a 7 levels deep why exercise. So for me, my why was like the reason why I want to be financially free is to spend more time with my children, so I can do what I want when I want, because I don't have to worry about bills, because I have that monthly residual income always coming in no matter where I am, whether I'm in Edmonton, whether I'm in Treaty 6, whether I'm in Treaty 7, whether I'm in Nova Scotia, whether I'm in Miami, whether I'm in Los Angeles, does not matter. I have that stream of income always coming in every single month on a continuous basis. So for me, when I did that that exercise, it's like, why do you want to spend more time with your children? And then I went deeper, and it's like, because my dad never spent time with me. And it's like, well, why do you want to spend? And then like it just like kept going deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper. It's like, well, why do you want to do this? Well, why do you want to do that? Well, why do you want to do that?
Yeah.
And 7 levels deep. So at
Kind
the
of
end
like
of my
what was it rooting from?
yeah.
Hey?
So at the end of my 7 levels, my final answer was the reason why I do what I do. Like my why is to be that Indigenous role model for my people, to show them that we're able and capable of creating wealth and sustaining wealth. No matter what cards we're dealt, no matter where we come from, no matter what odds we have or what short end of the stick that we get, we can do it no matter what. And that's what keeps me going every single day. So in all honesty, it's because I'm here not for myself, but like creator put me here on this earth for a reason, and I'm just like going in that direction. And who knows, maybe my path might change, but it's going to be the pretty similar goal to impact and inspire our Indigenous people and help people as well. So yeah, that's what keeps
You,
me going like every.
man, some of the things that like you've done, I know when you would dance at the Rogers place and you were like the first Indigenous man to like be able to to dance at the Oilers game. And that was like a crazy experience. I swear I saw that like everywhere. Just I was like, Darrell Brertton, like you're just on TV, and that was like a really proud moment, I think, for the Indigenous community to see that representation. And you're starting to see it more, but even that, like that just shows how much your hard work can pay off. And I know that experience for you was probably like freaking amazing, but also like you inspired a lot of other people there too. And so you were able to go into a space and inspire these Indigenous people, but you were also able to light up that room. And so people were able to feel that energy that you gave them. And I think like that's like the most incredible feeling in the world, is to be able to make people's hearts just, grow and feel big. And I know when I see that representation in any space that, is a little bit more colonial, um, I feel like, I'm welcomed here and that I belong, and I feel more comfortable and more like safe in those spaces. And I can't, like, that experience that you must have had, that's crazy, man. You should be darn proud of yourself for that.
Hi, thank you.
That was, though, like,
That it was like a dream come true. Like I was kind of on cloud nine for the whole week, like the rest of the week. Like after I did it, it's
yeah,
like they treated me like royalty there, the staff and everything like that, and all the fans, and doing the interview with Sportsnet with Gene Principane, and just all that whole experience, like the whole week. Like I was just like in the clouds, and by that I mean like it's like I was living a dream, but it was real life. Like not
mm-hmm.
like in the clouds, like I'm better
Surreal.
than
Like, it
anyone
was
or anything like
surreal.
that, but like in the clouds, like I was living a dream, like it was a dream come true. And I literally manifested that. I always wanted to dance with the Oilers, and I almost skated with the Oilers in my regalia. That would have been too crazy, too deadly, but I almost did that. The only thing that stopped that from happening was because I didn't have my second COVID shot at the time when we were filming.
Yeah.
Because during the filming day, they want me to skate on the ice with my regalia. I'm like, I'm a hockey player, played hockey my whole life. Yeah, I can definitely skate, do some crossovers, do some
Put me in some
stops and
space.
starts. For real, like. But anyways, still, you want to know also like another background story. So since I only had one shot at the time, this was when
Yeah.
2 shots was becoming mandatory back in October, and they wanted to create a video, like they wanted to film it and play it on the jumbotron.
Yeah.
But then during that
Because
actual
you weren't,
Indigenous
wait, because
celebration,
you weren't vaccinated?
so I
Is that why?
wasn't vaccinated. No. They're doing it because they wanted to just create a video that they could have forever and then have it on the jumbotron, play it at every game, basically like that. But I didn't get to go to that film day because I wasn't double vaxxed at the time, and I had to wait a certain amount of days to get my second vax. So, anyways, they get back to me, the Oilers organization. They're like, "Sorry, Darrell. Unfortunately, it's black and white. If you're not double vaxxed, you're not allowed on the ice. You're not allowed to to come perform." And then I was really cheesed. I was like, "Oh my gosh! Like, are you kidding me? Because I can get my vax in like 7 days from now." And then like literally 5 days later, they get back to me and they're like, you know what? You might have missed the film day, but you can come live in person on November 1st. Just make sure you get your shot 14 days before November 1st. And I was like, oh my gosh. So what they told me was they were like trying to find another dancer online. They're trying to find another power dancer in the area. There's lots of reserves around Edmonton. There's lots of natives that live in Edmonton, and they just were set on me because I had the orange and blue colors and my feathers and everything. Like men's fancy is the most contemporary style, originated in Buffalo Bill's Wild West show back in the 1800s in Oklahoma. And the reason why they created that style was to be that wow factor to the performance, to generate more sales, to have more people come and watch the show. So they wanted it to be the most colorful, the most flamboyant, the most energetic, the most eye-catching. So I kind of understand why they couldn't get over me, and that's why they called me back. And they're like, if you get your second vax, you can come perform live. And I was so thankful and grateful, because I was like, it was like a roller coaster. I was like at a high, like, oh my god, I'm gonna perform Dance for the Oilers. They're gonna record it, and then it's like, nope. And I'm like, what?
And
I was
you're
so
like,
cheesed.
ah.
I was so cheesed, and I was like, you know what? I was like, whatever. I'm gonna look, just keep going, just keep building your business. Who cares if you don't dance for the Oilers? And then they called me back, and I'm like, okay, cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I remember you telling me that story, and I just, yeah. And one thing about me too is when I see that Indigenous representation for anyone in those spaces, it's just like, it just makes me feel good that we're being seen, and like our voices are being heard. And that's like, to me, that's the most important thing, is just making sure that we are heard and that we're seen, and stuff starts to get resolved. And it's crazy how like society changes, where you can do stuff like that, where you're able to just go down there and you were be able to dance and pray. And yeah, it was meant to be, though. And one of the things that you mentioned, though, was manifestation. And so this is actually manifestation. I know like a lot of people have starting to practice it, I guess, but there's a lot of people that don't actually know like what it is, how you do it, and like how crazy it is that it actually happens, and the power of manifestation. And not too often, I'm not gonna lie, the fact that you were able to say, I manifested this, I don't hear a lot of men say that. And so it's really cool that you said that, because around me and my circle, I don't like ever hear guys say, yeah, I manifested that, or like I manifested this. And that's just so powerful, and it shows how when you're driven towards a goal, it's just like you'll get it just like that if you like keep working towards it. But like, how do you manifest? Because the way you manifest might be a little different from how I manifest.
So check this out. Literally today, to like fill the dead air, because I don't like having dead air, especially when I'm emceeing. There's gonna be entertainment all throughout. I'm gonna make sure that it's just flowing nicely. And if they need an extra 5 minutes, I'll buy 5 minutes and I'll go off on the stage and educate the crowd, right? So we needed like 20 minutes. So I brought on my fiance, and it was about mindset and goal setting and like manifestation. So I literally said that I manifested my fiance. Like I literally wrote down everything from the physical attributes to the internal attributes, the mental attributes. Is she positive? Is she negative? Does she see a cup? Does she see a cup half full or half empty? How does she view the world? Is she a business owner? Is she not a business owner? Business minded? Is she not business minded? Like what kind of mindset does she have? Not only just like the physical attributes and stuff like that. So, and I was explaining to the crowd how I was watching this one YouTube video when I was working security back in 2020. And it was with this highly successful individual that owns, I'm pretty sure he's making billions now, but he has one of the top life insurance companies in the United States, and he just makes ridiculous money. And he was teaching at one of his conferences, because he has like different like tickets, like VIP tickets, VIP plus, general, and everything like that, different type of tickets. So his VIP plus people, they got to go to a dinner with him and actually like meet him, take pictures with him, ask him questions and stuff like that at the dinner. So during the dinner, one of his ticket holders was a real estate agent in Las Vegas. And then he comes, introduces himself. Hi, I'm so-and-so. Here's my card. If you ever need real estate, hit me up in Las Vegas area if you want to. And then Patrick's like, oh, okay, nice. And he thought Patrick thought that was rude and disrespectful. Like it didn't even start anything, and like this guy's just cutting him off before he's about to talk and stuff. So then Patrick is kind of like trying him in a way. He's like, "Oh, okay. What kind of properties you got?" Then that realtor was like, and then Patrick is like, "Commercial, single family. What kind of properties do you do?" And then he's like, "I do single family. I do single family." So the realtor didn't really have his shit together. And then Patrick's testing him some more. He's like, "Okay, what kind of single family? Bungalows, duplexes, townhouses, single homes? What kind of single family?" And then he's like, "Lots of townhouses and some single homes." So the realtor didn't have his stuff together. And then Patrick's like, "Let me ask you a question. Do you have a girlfriend?" And then that realtor's like, "No." And Patrick's like, "I already knew the answer to that question because you don't know what you want. You don't know what you're selling. You don't know what you want in life. So therefore, you probably don't even know what you want in a partner." And then he's like, "Let me ask you this. What do you want in your ideal girlfriend, your ideal partner?" Then that realtor was like, "I want her to be below 5'7" because I'm 5'8" and I want to be taller than my partner." Then Patrick's like, "Okay, is that it? Is that all?" Then that guy's like, "She has to have brown or blue eyes, one or the other." And then Patrick's like, "Okay, well, my grandmother's below 5'7". She has brown eyes. And then the realtor was like, "Oh, no, 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 no. Has to be like under 40 and over 30 in that age range," because he was 34. And then Patrick's like, do you see what I mean? Do you see what I'm getting at?" And then that's when he educated the whole VIP network table. And he was telling them a story of how he got his wife. He wrote down everything on a piece of paper. He wrote down everything. I kid you not, everything. Does she cook? Does he want his wife to cook? Does he want his wife to do business? What does he want his wife to do? And not only just like the looks. So he wrote down literally everything. And then he told his family, told his friends, told his circle about what he's looking for, and he's ready to get married, and like he's looking for a lifelong partner. And then literally the first woman that he goes on a date with, because like that paper that he wrote down filled it out a lot. So to even get a date, he already did like his sorting out from the people that didn't qualify. And then from there, his first date, little did he know that was his wife, and they've been married for like 15 plus years now. So after watching that YouTube video, I did the same exact thing in my truck in October, working near Fort McMurray, working security late at night, alone in the bush, watching equipment in my security truck. I wrote down everything I wanted. I was going crazy. I was like, I wanted to have a nice smile. I wanted to have nice skin. I wanted to have nice big fluffy bannock. I don't want no flat bannock. And then like I wrote down everything. I wanted to be freaky. I wanted to be cute. But then I also wrote down I wanted to have a positive mindset. I wanted to be an entrepreneur or into business, because there literally is no work-life balance. So going back to that question earlier, I'm very lucky and blessed. Not a lot of people have their partner by their side or near when they're doing their thing, when they're doing their school, when they're doing their speaking, they're presenting their business or whatever, because their partner might not be on the same level or have or share similar goals. But that doesn't mean that it won't work out. You just have to understand that that individual's a lily, and you can't force them to be a rose. And you just have to love that lily to the best lily that can possibly be. You can't make that individual a rose. So for me, going through my first serious relationship with the mother of my children, that gave me an idea about the partner that I want, the wife that I want. So I literally wrote that down. Like, I want my wife to be my business partner, not only just my wife, because I want to invest with her. I want to do business with her. I want to sell products with her. I want to do stuff with her, because there is no work-life balance when you're trying to build an empire, when you're trying to do something big. Like, you have to be all in or not at all, because you won't get it done if you're not all in.
So you just wrote it down is what you did.
I wrote it down.
Writing it down and telling yourself that it's going to happen.
I read it like not every day, but pretty much every day. And like I just read it and like just kept reminding myself, like, it's okay, like she'll come. And then I kind of just left it and then stopped reading it. And then literally at the end of the month, that's when I go on a date with my fiance now. It's crazy. Like, after I wrote it down.
What's that?
I was like, it's crazy. After I wrote it down, creator's like, okay, my son, okay, my child, you know what you want in life? All right, here you go. You know, I swear.
See, but sometimes people, when they dream too big or they ask for something that might seem like totally out of their reach, they could easily write it down. You could easily write it down, say everything that you want, but you got to believe it. And I think that's something that tricks a lot of us because we want this in life. And this is something that is one of our goals, or this is something that, we're hoping to come across. And if you don't believe it, like if you don't actually say to yourself that like this is going to happen or I'm going to manifest this without doubting yourself or saying, like, am I really like capable of this, or is this like what I deserve, or like how am I going to do this, or am I brave enough to do this, or am I strong enough to handle this? And so there's so many things that people will go through when they're manifesting, or even say to themselves like, this is crazy, like this is weird that I'm writing this down and I'm saying this out loud, like because to some people this is uncomfortable, or this is something that's difficult because they've never done it before. And so sometimes I like even have to tell myself when I'm doing this that I am going to achieve this, or I'm fully capable of doing this, Haley. Like you can, and you have that in your, like it's in you, it's in your DNA to do this. And so sometimes I just like have to remind myself that I can, and not doubt myself, because sometimes I can be quick to do that instead of just saying anything's possible. And if I can even dream it, then I can do it. I can do it.
Top way. I'm gonna piggyback off what you said about belief. Like, you know what my mentor said? One of my mentors, he lives in Miami. He said, he was like going off and he's like real close to the camera, and his tone and voice like just went like down. And he's like, the hardest thing about making my first $100,000 was not making the money itself. The hardest thing was believing that I can. And then that hit me. I was like, oh, damn. Believing that you can. Like, that was the hardest thing. Not even doing the work to make the 100K, but believing that you
Yeah.
are capable of making that 100K. Exactly what you just said. And in all honesty, like about what you said about doubting yourself and stuff like that, that's like just our limiting beliefs. And if anything, our circle, our environment, if there's anyone that has limiting beliefs with themselves, they might try to push that onto you. So just because they have a limiting belief about themselves, about how they can't be an FSI and youth rep and also do this too, just because they have that limiting belief doesn't mean that Haley has that limiting belief. You know what I mean? Like, that's not your limiting belief. And even myself, just how you said you have to remind yourself, even myself as well. Like, I set a goal of getting 10 new clients this month. Currently, I'm at 5 right now, so I'm halfway there. And I don't know if I'll be able to hit 10, but I've hit 8 2 months in a row, and I know that I can hit 10. And at first, I was like already having limiting beliefs. I was like, Darrell, like maybe not this month, but maybe next month you could hit 10. Like, it's okay.
Next
And
time.
it's like,
Telling yourself next time?
yeah, and it's like you have to build up momentum first. Then once you build up momentum, then you'll be able to get 10. And then it's like no, like who cares? Who cares about momentum? Who cares about this or that? Like, if I want to get 10 and I set the goal for 10, I'm gonna go and work towards it and make it happen. So, and like so creator, God the creator made us, and we all have the ability to create. We all have the ability to create with our minds up here. We can create the life that we want. We can create the relationships that we want. We can create the business that we want. We can create the schooling that we want. We can create the grades that we want. We can create the health that we want. We can create that. We have the ability to create up here. Literally, I kid you not. I swear we do. And once you unlock the
No
power of
way.
your mind, that's when you once you unlock the power of your mind, that's when you have the world in your hands right here.
So you must have some real deadly advice or tips to like actually achieving this though. So just hit myself in the face. One of the things that you already mentioned was manifestation, and that's like a really big step towards, succeeding or achieving some of the things that some of your goals or your dreams, and the power of your mindset. And so actually I remember like not long ago, I think the last time that I saw you, when we went out to eat with, I forget who was I with? I think I was
There's like
with
4 of us.
Adrian and somebody else. Anyway,
And yeah.
we were sitting there, and you had like your laptop, and you had your duffel bag, and I was like, holy, like we're just going to eat, man. Like we're not doing work here. And I was just like, but I can't expect everyone to be the way that I am, where if I go into a restaurant, man, I'm just there to eat. Like I'm not there to do anything else unless it's a meeting or something. But and then you had this book. You had the book that it looked like a Bible. And you gave me this book because you honestly read like the first page of it, and I was already intrigued in the book.
Yeah, you're hooked.
I forget what the book was called because
Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill.
Yeah, Think and Grow Rich. Okay. And you gave me this book because I was really interested in it, which I still haven't read. Guilty. I know,
Okay.
it's been a while.
It's fine. It's fine. Honestly, it's been like, oh my gosh, like 3 months since, no, like 2 months since I read a page.
Yeah.
I normally read 10 pages a day because I don't try to do it all at once. Like try to read the whole 300, 280 page book all at once. If I just do 10 pages a day and it's 296 pages, I'm done the book in 29 days.
Yeah.
Done the book in a month, One book a month is better than trying to do it all in one sitting, especially if you're not a reader, like that's not you, that's not your habit. And you just have to create that habit and form that habit. And once you do, then there's a saying, and it goes like this, like when you change your habit, you change your paradigm.
When you change your habit, you change. What's your paradigm?
So your paradigm is the way that you operate.
Okay.
And everything that I'm talking about right now, you can learn from Bob Proctor. Bob Proctor passed away this year recently, and he was really big into mindset and the conscious and subconscious mind. So, for example, I don't know where my vision board is, but for example, when you write down your goals, there's some people that are obsessed, and people will think of them as crazy, but the craziness is like kind of what helps them get to where they are, whether they're man or woman. So like there's this other mentor of mine, he would literally write down on his mirror his goal. I'm so happy and grateful now that I've impacted 1 million people. Like he'll say it like that. So he'll say it in the present positive, like
he already did it.
Yeah. And then even though he doesn't see that, he doesn't read that goal out loud every day, when he's brushing his teeth, when he's washing his hands in his sink, in his bathroom, he wrote that on his mirror. His subconscious mind is seeing that every single day, and it's like kind of like reprogramming his subconscious mind. Even his soap, like he bought these like custom shampoo and conditioner that says rich shampoo, rich conditioner. So he'll just buy his like Walmart and like squirt it in there, and then when he's showering and stuff like that, it says rich. And like his subconscious mind, he might not say it out loud every single day, but his subconscious mind is getting reprogrammed. You know what I mean? Or like even it could be as simple as like, say a vehicle, say like you're driving a Ford right now, right?
Yeah.
So what's your dream car?
My dream car would probably have to be a G-Wagon.
A G-Wagon? All right. Okay, cool. So what you can do, what this guy would do, is he would take that logo, that Benz logo, and then he would put that above the Ford, like on his steering wheel. So even though he's hopping in his Ford, he was seeing that Benz logo all the time, and he's like reprogramming his subconscious mind. Don't get me wrong, like there's a lot of people that are like, oh, I tried to be positive, and then like my life's still shitty. And it's like, you got to practice it You gotta practice it every day, and you gotta, even if you fall off a few days, it's fine. Because I'll do another story. For example, I'm gonna pull this out right here because it's circled. So this is my steering wheel, right? And I'm a farmer. I'm in my tractor, plowing my fields, right, getting ready to
Okay.
harvest and get some food, right?
Huh.
And so
Is a farmer.
I'm a farmer in my tractor, right? Don't get me
Yeah.
wrong. This is a good story. So if I just continue on my path, plow my fields, go down this way, go a few feet over, come back, plow it this way, go a few feet over, plow it this way, and just plow it straight, I'm gonna end up in the same spot. But if I make one small shift to the right, 1 inch to the right, so I change my habits, my daily habits. Instead of watching Netflix, maybe I'm reading a book, or instead of just being lazy at home, maybe I go work out for 30 minutes or an hour or something like that. I'm go for 30 minutes. I'm sweating for 30 minutes. So making that one little small shift and doing that one little small thing every single day, by the end of that farmer's field, I'm going to end up in a completely different spot than I would have if I just went straight. So like straight would be over
Mhm.
here. And then if I did that one small shift, I'd be over here. I'd end up in a completely different spot. Does that make sense?
Yeah. So it can just be like one little thing, only one little thing, and
Literally
it'll.
10 pages a day reading a book.
Mm-hmm. I know, and sometimes, man, I wish. I actually shouldn't wish this, but I always tell myself that I'm gonna find the time to read this book, and I'm telling myself this, but I don't actually do it. So when I'm scrolling through my phone and I'm on social media, and I told myself earlier that I wanted to read this book, or I told myself, say that I was gonna go golf, or I was gonna go, I don't know, go work out, which I
Work
haven't
out.
been doing at all. But telling myself that and not following through with it. And so it's
Do
almost like
you know what that's called?
I'm like lying to myself because I'm like, I want to do this, but I'm not doing it.
I do that too. I'm guilty too.
Yeah. And so
That's
sometimes
called
I bash myself because I know that I wanted to do it, and I'll think about it too. So sometimes when I don't even want to do it, say I don't want to go play soccer, I'm just going to tell myself instead that if I go play soccer, I'm gonna feel better after even if I lose. Just kidding. But even if I do lose and we don't win, I'm gonna feel better about my body. I'm gonna feel, active. I'm gonna have a good sweat, and I'm gonna go home and have like probably a better sleep than I did yesterday because I'm tired. And just being able to shift that narrative in my head instead of just staying stuck in that place. But sometimes it gets the best of me. I'm like, oops, I didn't go. Or oops, I didn't get that done today. Which is okay too, I guess.
Mhm.
But
Bob Proctor talks about that, and he calls that the knowing doing gap. The knowing doing gap. So, for example, say I'm on a diet, and then there's like a cake, and I eat that cake, and then say my fiance knows I'm on a diet, or one of you in Neo Wellness, and it's like, Darrell, aren't you on a diet? Why are you eating that cake? It's like
yeah.
it's like I know I am, and it's like, why are you eating that cake? It's like, I don't know. And it's like, you shouldn't eat that cake. You're on a diet. And it's like, I know. It's like, well, why are you eating it? I don't know. So that's what Bob Proctor literally was teaching in one of his chapters in thinking into results, his program, and he calls that the knowing doing gap. And right now the audio is completely slipping my mind right now. It's completely slipping my mind, so I can't help you solve that knowing doing gap right now, but we can definitely, I can send you the link to that one chapter, and you can
It's
listen to it.
discipline. I honestly think it's discipline. But also
Part of it.
reframing, like you said, those limiting beliefs instead of, doubting yourself and saying that I can do this and motivate yourself just in the ways that you do.
Mm-hmm.
But man, we're coming to the end of the night, and my eyes are starting to like fall off
Can
here.
wait. Before we finish, can I share my screen?
Yes, you can.
Okay. I have a little slideshow. It's not that long. Don't worry. I'll
Okay.
only be talking for an extra hour. Just kidding.
Okay.
Okay. Minimize this.
This is
Okay.
a this is
Where?
a little lecture or what?
Yeah. So I was brought on for mindset, right? Can you see my screen?
Okay.
Can you see my slide? Mindset is
Yep.
blue.
We can
Okay,
all see it. Mindset.
okay, sweet. So, goal setting. Why is goal setting important? Do you know why goal setting is important? Can you try to answer this question before I go to my next slide?
Can somebody help me?
Okay,
Can
you know what? It's
somebody
fine.
help me in the audience? Just kidding.
It's fine. So, can you see this boat? You can see the boat, right?
Yes.
Okay. The reason why there's a boat is for an example, for a metaphor to help explain why goal setting is important. So there's two boats and there's two different scenarios. The one boat has a captain, has a crew, has a compass, has a map, has a direction, has a destination that they're heading to, right? Maybe they're heading overseas, maybe they're heading to the other side of the harbor or whatever. They're heading somewhere, right? So they have all that right there. There's a 9,999% chance of out of 10,000 that that boat will get to its destination and accomplish its goal. So now the second boat has no captain, has no crew, has no compass, has no map. So this boat, it's lucky if it even leaves the harbor. It'll probably crash into another boat on the way out, or it might even end up on a deserted island or something like that because it has no direction. So that's why goal setting is important, because it gives us a direction that we're heading in life. Does that make sense?
Yes. Aaron said here too, so you have something to strive for.
Exactly.
Something to look up to, something that you're looking forward to.
Yeah, something to work towards, something to move towards, you know? So that's why goal setting is important. And then on top of that, like to also explain like mindset. So like I have this right here. So this might not make sense, but it will when I go over the next slide. So our thoughts create our feelings, and our feelings create our actions, and our actions create our results. So I use this example all the time, especially if there's people in university, college, high school, junior high, like it helps them understand this slide right here. So for example, myself back in high school, I told myself that I sucked at English, but I loved math. I was really good at math. I love numbers. But I would tell myself, oh, I suck at English, I suck at writing, I suck at reading, I'm not good at it, I'm not good at making essays or whatever, short stories, whatever it is. So since I'm telling myself that, since I'm having those thoughts, it's creating my feelings, and then my feelings was creating my actions. So maybe when it's time to study for my diploma, my final exam, or whatever it might be coming up, maybe I need to practice on my essay. I need to practice on my structure or whatever within my essay. So when I'm reading my notes, I'm having these thoughts that are creating my feelings. Oh, I suck at English. Why am I even studying my notes? I suck. Why? I'm gonna fail anyways. So now my feelings create my actions. Boom. I just close my notebook. I'm not studying anymore. Put my notebook back in my backpack. Or maybe I might even touch my notebook because I know that I'm going to fail the English exam because I tell myself that I suck. So my thoughts create my feelings create my actions. Now, time of the final exam, the diploma, whatever might be happening. Now I'm going to fail that exam because I didn't put in the work. I didn't study. You know what I mean? So my actions have now just created my result. And that's literally like for anything. It doesn't have to be for school. It could be for business. It could be for relationships. It could be for parenting. It could be for your work, your career. It could be for anything. So now I'm going to explain this slide right here. And it goes hand in hand with the last one. So at the bottom, the purple line, all these lines that you see right here, the gold lines and the purple line at the bottom, Bob Proctor teaches and preaches that these are frequencies. These are just different levels, and everything is energy. So, for example, if I, like right now, this podcast, you're in Saskatoon, I'm in Edmonton, we're on the same frequency. That's how come we're able to have this call right now. Same thing in life. Our before the law of attraction, there's another law before the law of attraction, and that's the law of vibration. So the way that my mind is operating, the way that my mind is thinking is going to create my feelings create my actions create my results. So right here at the bottom, that purple line at the bottom, those clouds, those are my thoughts. That's the way that I'm feeling, that's the way that I'm thinking, and therefore that's creating.
You have some cloudy thoughts, bro. Just kidding.
Good one, Haley. Good one. You want us all night? Keep talking for like an hour, or should I wrap it up? Anyways,
No. Keep going.
those clouds, Those clouds, those are your thoughts that are creating results. So now a few frequencies higher, that's our goals, whether it's financial freedom, whether it's that job, whether it's that degree, whether it's that diploma, whatever it might be. Maybe it's securing a deal, maybe it's securing that property, maybe it's getting your real estate license, maybe it's creating that album that you always wanted to create because you're an artist, you're a singer, you're a songwriter, whatever it is. Doesn't matter what industry you're in. Sports, it could even be sports. Maybe I want to make it to that one team. I have to try out, make it to that one team. That's my goal. Whatever your goal is, the only thing that's helping you or hindering you from getting to those few higher frequencies is a decision. That's all it is a decision. So for example, myself, like I have children. I'll start my businesses after my children are graduated high school because I want to spend time with my children. Yeah, I'll start that business after my children are done school. So I just made a decision to stay on the same level of thinking, the same level of frequency that's getting me the same results in life. Or that same example, you know what? My children are young. It's not going to be easy. It's not going to be easy at all whatsoever. But you know what? I don't care. I'm going to achieve that goal. I'm going to become financially free. I'm going to create multiple streams of income. I'm going to help our Indigenous people and all of the First Nation reserves with clean drinking water through my own sunyas, my own money that I'm making in the foreign exchange market. And that's like another thing that I was taught. This is like a side conversation. So Jim Rohn, he passed away. He was really big into mindset and personal development. He taught that the last 1,000 years is how the next 1,000 years is going to look. The last 100 years is how the next 100 years is going to look. So if Canada hasn't helped at all with the clean drinking water situation in First Nation communities for the last 153 years or however old Canada is, if they never helped for over 150 years, what makes you think that they're going to start helping now? So us as Indigenous people, we have to be the change that we want to see. So I know that Canada is not going to help because they haven't helped for the last 150 years. So you know what? I'm going to just grow my money in my trading account, grow some sunyas, and then when I'm making ridiculous money, like 100K a day, 100K in 10 minutes, 100K in a minute, and stuff like that, then when I'm making ridiculous amounts of sunyas, then that's when I'll be able to have projects and fund projects on my own. And I strongly believe that when that's happening, companies, industry, Shell, Imperial Oil, big companies, even the government, the provincial and federal, they'll see me as an individual forking up 2 million, 4 million, or however many millions to do this project, and they'll double whatever I'm doing, like just to kind of get in there. And then finally that ball start to move for our clean drinking water situations in all the First Nation communities across Canada. So yeah, anyways, that's a side conversation. So that's all it is. It's just a decision for that goal. And it's like, you know what, even though it's going to be hard, I'm going to make that happen, not only for myself, not only for my children, but for my people. Like going back to your why. So your why, that's honestly what people should do first, is write down their why. And that why has to be really strong. And when that why is really strong, then therefore when times get rough, times get tough, when life knocks you down, because life will knock you down, when you get fired from that job, when you lose that relationship, or when that deal falls through, what are you going to do? Are you going to sit in the mud and stay in the mud and just chill there? Or are you going to pick yourself back up and keep going? Agamemno, keep going. Don't give up. Never give up. And just
you're going to try again and go back to her. I'm kidding.
Hey, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. You're funny. You're funny. You're funny. Yeah, sure. Yeah. If that's your goal, yeah, go ahead.
I'm just kidding, but
going. No, it's fine.
You're right.
But anyways, that's real quick. I just wanted to share that with all the viewers here today. And I feel like definitely the viewers have learned something new. And this is just the beginning. This is just like a little scratch on the surface. Honestly, there's like tons of audios, tons of books, tons of material, tons of courses, tons of conferences and seminars that you can go to, and mentorship that's available out there in the universe, in the world. So if you want Neo Wellness, tag me, follow me on Facebook, send me a DM. I'd be more than happy to recommend like how you can get started on your journey, on your personal development journey. And like going back to this page right here, like the results. So let me actually exit so I can have like my mouse. So let me make this bigger. So like right here, like results. So let me move my mouse. It's not really going big. So anyways, I was here. I was making like $3,000 a month just working security. 2 weeks on, 2 weeks off, stuff like that, right? So literally like doing the work, investing myself, and just doing little daily habits every single day. Like I've been able to take my income from 3 grand a month to over 20 grand a month. And I don't say that to impress anyone. I say that to impress upon you the power that we have. And like literally, if you go back on my Facebook, I'm not gonna pull up my Facebook, but like if you creep me on Facebook, I'll stop sharing my screen. Stop screen share. There we go. So if you creep me on Facebook, you can literally see back in like 2018, 2019, when I was working security and I was talking about the power of our mind. I was already talking about that because that's when I got introduced to it in 2019. And then now 2022, it's like all catching up and it's like all adding up. Again, that steering wheel, shift it 1 inch to the right, you'll end up in a completely different spot at the end of the field, aka at the end of your life than you would have been.
Wow. You must be tired after all that knowledge came out of your brain.
Standard.
When you were talking about like setting those goals, you had mentioned like, you know, you want to get that job or you want to make that team or whatever, but they were like really big dreams to me, when sometimes a goal for me can be something really simple, but it's still very difficult for me to do. And so sometimes like a goal for me might be able to forgive somebody, but working towards that. Or maybe it's like accepting somebody, but I have to work towards that. Or it's, I know that I have to do this with my work, but it's going to take me a while to get there because I have to go through this thought process, or I have to, you know, talk to all these people so that they fund me. And so these are like really big things for me, but they might seem very simple and really like tiny to other people. And so, you know, it can be like a really big dream. It can be a really big goal, but sometimes it's really important to even just set those tinier goals or those smaller goals that you still want to achieve and you still want to see happen, but they still require you to put in the work and change your mindset around it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know 100% what you're saying.
Because, like, man, I would love to make $1 million a year. And sometimes, you know, for some people, it might just be, I want to make 1,000 a month, or I want to make 1,000 in 2 weeks. And so that's even, you know, a goal that's better than not having one at all.
Yeah. So to piggyback off what you just said, people shouldn't compare their chapter 1 to someone's chapter 86 or like 306, you know?
Yeah.
And I definitely feel I get the same thoughts and feelings when I have new goals. And it's like, do I even want to get started? Like that mountain is just so big to climb. Like, do I even want to like take a step towards that goal on the top of that mountain, you know? So I know exactly how you feel. And yeah, it's tough. It's tough. And one of the ways that I get through it is by feeding my mind, because we become what we think. So like I feed my mind with good energy, good thoughts and words, and listen to audios, listen to podcasts and read books. And also like my circle too. I try to hang out with like mostly people that are goal driven and aiming for something in life, but then those people are busy because they're aiming for something in life, right? So it's not like every day I get to hang out with them. So a lot of times I'm kind of like surrounding myself with successful individuals, but it's through like audios, like listening, like in my earpods.
Yeah, it's always important to definitely surround yourself around people.
Or even like right now, like this podcast right now, you know? Like even the people, the viewers, the listeners that are listening to this right now, like you are, even though me and Haley aren't beside you in the same room or in your vehicle with you, or at the gym with you, you're still surrounding yourself with us because you're listening to us right now. You're listening to the messages that we have and everything like that. So you're surrounding yourself with good people. Haley is a really good individual. I'm a good individual. So keep listening to Newo Wellness Podcast.
You know what though? Some people don't listen to these things, and you know, like for the people that are watching, like I do think this is important, and that's why, you know, I brought you on here. I brought you on because I want people to understand the power of your mindset and your mentality, and like really like how you can reframe so many other things to achieve some things in life. And you know, like a lot of people don't know where to start. A lot of people are like, how do I do this? You know, and right off the bat, you said you need a why. You need to have a why, and that's exactly why you're doing this. And so you explained that, how you went further and deeper to figure out your why as to why you wanted to do these things. And that's a perfect step. That's your first step right there, is to understand and to tell yourself, and to, you know, make it emotional. Like you said, it's emotional. It's, you have to be vulnerable to think about why you actually want to do this stuff in life. And it requires you to be patient with yourself, and to trust yourself, and to be honest. And, you know, I really admire that you were able to, you know, share these things and to share with people a little bit about your journey and whatnot. But before we go, I wanted you to take the screen and maybe just, you know, give one little piece of advice before we head out here. And yeah, I'll give you the screen.
Okay. Alrighty. So, one piece of advice that I can share with everybody here today, whether you're watching live or whether you're watching the pre-recording, I'll use what I have right here on my table. So the piece of advice that I'll give with everyone here today is that our decisions that we make every single day are where we are. So the decisions that we made 5 years ago is where we are today. And the decisions that we make today is where we will be 5 years from now. Or we can even change the year. We could do 2 years or 1 year. And for example, right here in front of me, I have pop and I have water. So simple decision, right? I can choose pop or I can choose water. Pop tastes good. It's sweet. I get that. I don't know. I get that taste in my mouth, right? So it tastes good. It tastes yummy. Water doesn't taste good. Doesn't taste yummy. Doesn't really doesn't taste the same as pop for sure. So I'm most likely not going to choose water, and I'm going to choose pop instead. But that's because I'm just thinking of the moment. But now if I switch my thoughts and I switch my thinking, and I'm thinking long term, I'm thinking a year from now, I'm thinking 3 years from now, I'm thinking maybe even 10 years from now. If I keep drinking pop, my body, my health will be completely different 5 years from now compared to drinking water. You know what I mean? So that's the same thing with anything in life. It doesn't have to be with our body. It could be with work. It could be with school. It could be with our relationship. Like, I honestly love my relationship because I think long term. So for example, if me and my fiance say, like, I could sleep on the couch or I could sleep in the bed. And it's like, you know what? Like, if I sleep on the couch, that little decision is going to add up and compound over time. You know what? I don't want it to add up and compound that way, down that path. I want to compound towards a healthy path, towards a loving path with my wife to be. You know what? I'm going to talk to her. I'm going to communicate with her. I'm going to do whatever I have to do to make things right. And we're going to go to bed together and sleep in the same bed together tonight. So, like, just making that simple decision, like, do I go left or do I go right? And just always choosing the high road. That will help you out. That will help out your life. You won't see the results right away. Like, I won't see the results in my body right away if I drink pop or water today. I won't see it next month, next week, but I'll definitely see it years to come. That's the same thing with anything. So our decisions add up over time every single day. and our decisions are exactly where we are today. And our decisions can help us get to where we want to go, or they can hinder us and keep us from where we want to go. So that's my message with everyone here today. Your decisions add up and compound all day, every day, over time. So be aware and be cautious of the decisions that you make, because every decision counts. And that's why you should vote me for chief. Just kidding. Anyways, thank you guys so much. I really love being on here. I really appreciate sharing this energy, this good medicine, and connecting and talking with Haley. We're always busy, can't really visit as much, but we definitely will this summer when I'm at powwows and stuff like that. And yeah, message me. I'm more than happy to recommend some books that you guys can read to help you get started. And that's all it is. It's just getting started. That's all it is. Just making a decision to get started. So hi. Thank you guys so much.
Aww. Thank you so much, Darrell, for coming on to the Newo Wellness podcast. We're honestly honored to have you on here to share some great tips. And yeah, it was just amazing to be able to listen to you. And it sounds like you could go on and on and on. So if you guys have any questions or any advice that you're looking for, support, go to Darrell. He's the one to go to. He's reliable. He's dedicated, and he'll always try to find the time to answer your questions. So thank you so much for coming onto the podcast. Before I leave, I also wanted to acknowledge that it is National Indigenous Peoples Day coming up, and this means a lot to Indigenous people. And so it's important that we recognize one another and we support one another. And I thank everyone that's able to watch the podcast and support us. So thank you guys for being able to tune in with us tonight. We will have another episode next Sunday. And it is Pride Month, so we're going to do something for that as well. So you guys all have an amazing week. Have a great rest of your nights. And I'll see you later. Peace out.